It would seem as though.
Hi, hello, good morning.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Welcome to another week of It Would Seem As Though, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Mostly nothing. You sounded real tired when you said that.
I am real tired. I'm Vesta.
Welcome back to
Oh my
another
God.
episode. I'm Shenanica.
Yeah.
I'm a shenanigan.
Right, well, because if they shenan once,
They'll shenanica.
they'll shenan again.
Yeah, totally.
I just want to tell you why I'm tired.
Girl, tell me.
Well, one, I'm old. But let's just start with that. The most obvious. I'm
The
old.
world.
Two, I mean, I had a wonderful weekend. This started out shit, but it ended up being a great weekend. I, on Saturday, went up to visit my sister, Linda, who I adore.
And you left bright and early, girl.
I did. Well, so my plan.
Tell me your plan.
My
What
plan
it?
was to leave our house about 7. And then that way, as we take breaks on the way up there for like food or bathroom or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
You know, get there 10 and 11, whatever.
Love that.
Which I realize is kind of early, but I wanted to have maximum amount of time to spend with
Because you
my
were there
family.
for a day.
A day.
Yeah.
And, well, already out the gate, that didn't happen. We didn't get out of the house until about 7:40, I think.
Yeah.
But still, it was like, well, it's before 8, so it's not terrible.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm the only one who has the schedule in mind, so it's not like...
You
and I did tell everybody, I was like, I'd like to leave around 7.
Okay.
But nobody else cares.
No.
And it really, in the morning, getting my family to move is like herding cats.
Yeah, I know we're in the middle of a story. I need you to know that I came over. I texted you. What time are you leaving? You
Yes.
said now-ish. So I headed over, said hello. Girl, it reminds me... Do you know that movie, just that cute little movie from the 90s called Home Alone?
I've heard of it.
And do you know when they wake up in the morning and they're late and they're all rushing around
Like crazy people?
That is what it was. And your husband's table, his eyes are wide because it's like a sensory overload for him. Your children are both talking, screaming,
Chatting.
Yeah. I don't know. And then you're just like, I'm ready to go. Like, I've been ready to go since forever, you know?
Are you ready?
I know.
been ready.
So I'm like, hey, bye. Like, this is too much for me,
Bye,
y'all.
bye, gotta go.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
God.
the energy is chaotic.
Yeah, continue.
So, get in the car.
Mhm.
First thing I have to do is get gas. So I just
Of course.
hit the Costco right
Right.
before I get to 205 and head out of town. All smooth, right? Get on the fucking freeway, and we are just literally over the bridge into Vancouver, which from our house, if I hadn't stopped at Costco, it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
When the little sensor on my dashboard goes ding, and I'm like, what?
What do you
Because
mean?
it's either, you know, usually when it dings, it's like there could be ice on the road or whatever, and it's like low tire pressure. And I looked at it, and it's like, how could it be 25 pounds of pressure when all the rest are 35, and it just now came on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit! And then you hear that awful telltale sound of a flat tire. Yes. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So and somehow, because I was driving, I managed to keep control of the car. I didn't even, because I'm always afraid if a tire pops, you're going to go all crazy.
Spin out.
So I found a wide spot on the freeway where we could get off the road. We were still on the freeway.
Yeah.
But it was a wide enough spot that I didn't feel like people were whizzing by going to take my car off. It was with them as they go. And my husband... luckily knew how to change. I mean, I know how to change a tire, but with newer cars, it's not as easy because you can only put the jack in like one spot because most of the car is plastic now. If you put it in the wrong spot, it just crumples your car, right? And so I'm all, nope.
Yeah,
And
no.
then he said, well, I don't, know what we're going to do. We're going to have to probably call AAA because cars nowadays don't even come with a spare.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And because obviously I don't know. I know that it comes with like a jack and
I guess.
that
You know, a crank?
a tire iron kind of wrench.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, well, that's old school. I don't know if it's the same thing. I don't know if it's even called that anymore.
Okay, yeah.
But, he lifts up the little flap in the back where the stuff is hidden and sees this, something that's indicating that we have a tire underneath the car.
Oh.
And so then you have to know how to access said tire.
Yeah, thanks
and there's
for
this
giving
little
me...
thing. Well, it's like there's a bolt kind of thing holding it up. But you basically turn this little crank and it lowers it to the ground.
Okay.
And then you take it off its little clip,
Yeah.
put it, blah, whatever. And so I'm already stressed out enough that, one, we're later than I want to be. Two, now we have a flat tire on the freeway, so that's going to slow us down. Three, we're going to now have to go somewhere and get a new tire because you can't drive on a donut for
forever,
very long, right? And so there's a Les Schwab just like 5 minutes away, and I'm like,
great.
Perfect. Because stupid me, I think, we'll go to Les Schwab, we'll get one new tire,
Yeah.
we'll be on the road,
Yeah,
it'll all be groovy.
Love.
Well, we get to Les Schwab, go in, talk to desk lady, and she's like, okay, I'll get someone to go check it out and talk to you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, 10 minutes later, this man comes in and talks to me, and literally, he is looking down at the clipboard with the information and mumbling.
Well, that's helpful.
Well, bitch, I'm hard of hearing.
Yeah.
And if you're going to mumble into your chest,
Yeah.
I'm not going to hear you.
That's weird. I don't know why you wouldn't hear him.
I know, it is crazy. But I was like, what? And he's showing me that I can either pay $1,000 or $1,300
Those are your
for
options.
these new tires. And I'm like, wait, what? He goes, well, our policy now is unless all of the tread is within like some tiny amount.
Yeah, like millimeters.
Then we have to replace all the tires to make sure they're all even. Otherwise, it's going to throw off
the balance and alignment.
Blah, blah, blah. And I'm all, well, that sounds like horseshit to me. But
that sounds like snake oil salesman.
I mean, my car is 2 years old and I barely go anywhere. So how bad could my truck be?
For real.
And so I was all, okay. And he was like, and I said, you can't just replace this one tire.
No.
Or fix this one tire. That tire was unfixable.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he's like, no, it's our policy. And it's also the policy of most new car makers and new car, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, fine. Then guess I'll spend $1,000 for all new tires when 3 of them are in great shape. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, get new tires on.
How long did that take? How long were you at Les Schwab?
I think about an hour.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
So by the time,
luckily it wasn't swamped. It wasn't terribly
almost
busy.
9.
Right. I think it was 9, I think, when we got there, because it took so long on the freeway to change the tire.
Sure.
And by the way, on the freeway, my daughter is being a little fucking minor bird in my ear and talking nonstop. And I'm already so stressed out that I can't even focus on anything. I want to just scream.
Yeah.
And I ask her very nicely, I'm like, please stop talking. I can't right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that's how my husband feels all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like, at that moment, I'm like, my head is going to explode.
Yeah.
And there's going to be guts all over the window and the road. And
we're all going to die here.
And we're all going to die. And she just wouldn't stop. And finally I turned to her, and I never say this to my children, but I turned up, I was like, shut up!
Yeah.
And she just looked all shocked at me, and I was like, I'm so sorry that I had to say it that way, but you wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah. Honestly. Well, and
and so not a real apology, because it was an I'm sorry, but.
Yeah,
it was like,
honestly, shut the fuck up.
I hate saying that, but you would not stop, and my head is about to explode. Well, anyway.
I know, we were texting
and I fucking cried all the way to Les Schwab.
Yeah.
Because, it was too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get done at Les Schwab, and the guy comes out and he's like, well, again, Mr. Mumbles, tires are fixed, your spare is, we put back your spare where it goes, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we go to get in the back of the car because we were going to get drinks, and there's my spare up against the luggage, wrapped in a plastic bag.
Not where it goes.
And I lurched my fat ass right back in, and I said, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude who helped me with this told me that the tire was put back where it goes, and it sure as shit was not. I said, it is in a plastic bag in the back. And she was like, I'll go find him. And so she disappeared. Mm-hmm. And a different young man who looked 12 came out and said, oh, well, it's not his fault, because I was just dictating to him what was happening and what I was doing, and he obviously misunderstood me. bullshit. I think y'all thought you were going to get away with something.
We thought you were slick.
But then the best part of that was he opens up the back and stands there staring at it like he has no clue how to put the tire back on.
Really?
Parker had to show him how. My 13-year-old son had to show this man who works at Les Schwab how to put the spare tire back in my car.
At that point, Parker could have just done it.
Probably, but, I paid $1,000 for, shit I didn't need.
That is
so I was
crazy.
You're going to do this extra 2 minutes of work just because.
Yeah.
Because I'm being a total cunt.
Yeah, well, when you told me flat tire going to Les Schwab, I was like, that's horrible, and I bet Grace is... And immediately I knew. I was like, I bet she's making it so much more delightful.
Yeah.
Because I met her, and in any time of crisis, Grace is the one who freezes and then panics. That's why anything goes wrong, sinking ship, throw her overboard immediately. I can't handle that. No. Fire, I'm leaving her, or I'm throwing her out the window. Like, I can't. With all the words and the panic. Girl, tranquilizer.
Well, and ordinarily in an emergency, I become really calm.
Mm-hmm.
It's afterwards that I fall apart.
Sure.
Yeah,
adrenaline kicks in.
But yeah. So, after that...
It was fine.
Got up to...
What time?
I think we got up there, like, at 12:30.
Okay, so just a few minutes.
Just 2.5 hours later than I wanted to be there.
Yeah. But what a shitty way to start your little vacay.
Yeah, but then I got to sit and visit, which was lovely, because when we got there, we were the only ones of the out-of-town folks coming to visit. They were there. And we got to just sit and visit and have lunch and whatever. So that was lovely. And then her children and their children came over, and my cousin Amy and her husband, who, by the way, from this point forward will be known as my cousin's sister's brother-in-law.
Okay.
Well, because you know that I refer to her sister as my cousin's sister.
Yeah,
which is stupid because, of course, she's just my cousin.
Just your cousin.
Right. And so my cousin Amy's husband, Justin, was like, well, so then am I just your cousin's sister's brother-in-law?
Yeah.
And I was like, from this point forward, yes, absolutely. Because it sounds so ridiculous.
It does.
But yes, you are.
Yeah, I know.
From this point on.
That is funny. It is funny because growing up in the middle of nowhere, and similar to you, I was raised, we don't use the words like step or half, you're all just brothers and sisters. Right. Like everyone's your cousin. Basically, like everyone's your cousin, everyone's an aunt and uncle. And so, like, my definition of what family was, even from a young age, I know as an adult I'm like very much like chosen family, but even as a young age, there were a lot of people that were like aunts and uncles and cousins that were not related.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that whole idea of family, even cousins I hated, I'd be like, yeah, it's my cousin. You know what I mean? And it's my fucking cousin.
Well, and of my actual blood cousins, of which I have 450, I think.
Roughly. On one side.
Well, because on my mom's side, literally she had 3 brothers, 2 of them are gone now, who had 2 kids, and 4 kids. So that's it. That's all the cousins on that side.
Yeah, and then the 6 of you. Jesus Christ.
But then, on my father's side, he was one of 8 kids.
Jesus.
His oldest sister, very hardcore Catholic, I think she has like 8 kids.
Jesus Christ.
And then they have 45 approximately each. I don't know how many kids. They have too many kids.
Yeah.
And so I've never even met any of them.
Sure.
Which is fine.
That's a lot of kids.
They're all hyper-religious, right-wing nonsense.
Growing up, I always felt like, you want me to explain my family to you? That'll be confusing, but sure. Right. I learned, because trying to be like, my stepmom is actually my dad's high school sweetheart who he got pregnant, and then she disappeared and then came back later. And then her daughter's my stepsister, my half-sister, who's older than me. But there was another girl who came with them who's my stepsister, and everyone's like, what? So I have to draw, like, a graph.
Well, when I tell people that you and your sister are the same age...
twins.
Like 2 months different. People are like, wait, what?
I know.
Well, how does she have a sister that's 2 months younger than her?
When I was younger, people would be like, you're the same age, you're twins. And I said, do I look like that bitch? Excuse me. How dare you?
How very dare you?
Yeah. So the very complicated graph of family, that is a cornerstone of poor people.
Well, and also in my growing up years, my mother's two best friends were
Auntie Joyce.
Yeah. Auntie Joy and Deb. Mm-hmm. And imagine my surprise as an adult when I realized Aunt Deb's name isn't even Deb. I was like, wait, what? Because I heard somebody calling her Mary Lee.
Yeah.
I'm like, who that?
Who the hell Mary Lee? Who baby that?
And her daughter's like, that's my mom. And I go,
no.
Wait, what? We
always
call her Aunt Deb.
Her name is Deborah.
Right. And she was like, oh, yeah, that's because in high school she decided to change her name, not legally or anything, because her favorite actress was Debbie Reynolds, and so she was just Deb.
It makes sense. Her favorite actress was Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Aunt Joy,
yeah,
she met her in the hospital when she was having, I think, her second baby.
Okay.
And so they bonded in the hospital and became fast friends.
Over babies.
And so my mother at this point is barely out of high school. She's like 19. And whatever. But then lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And so I grew up with their kids.
Those are the two I remember.
Yeah. I grew up with them and their kids and going to their houses and,
Yeah.
But
I get that.
It wasn't until... And, I mean, I hung out... Not hung out, that's a lie.
No, she didn't do that.
Socialized, there we go, with my mother's... with the cousins on my mother's side.
Yeah.
But only at, like, holidays.
Okay, yeah.
Because that was the only time we really saw them.
Yeah.
Except my one aunt and uncle, who... I'm just going to say it, I can't stand them.
Yeah.
They're very...
Girl, you can say it.
They're very bougie.
Yeah.
They have money, and she comes from money, so she married my mother's brother. And they used to let us come over and pick grapes at their house, because they had these huge grape arbors, and that they would just let go to the birds. They didn't care. They weren't picking them. And so we would go pick them, and my mother would make jelly and juice and all kinds of shit. And then the one time we were there, and she was like, my auntie was like, well, anything we can do for the poor relation.
What? Bitch, if you think we so poor, you could give me some money.
Right. Why don't you cut us a check?
You make me drive here to pick grapes?
That was the last time we ever went to their house.
Yeah, I bet.
Because my mother, I'm sure she wanted to just dump all the grapes out of the back of the car, but, why cut off your nose to spite your face?
Yeah.
Because we ate all those grapes.
Sure.
Whatever, but it was like, that never again did we go to their house.
No.
But but that was the only time I ever saw those people, was like, then and like Christmas.
Yeah.
And then after my grandmother had a heart attack, she stopped hosting Christmas at her house because it was too much.
Sure.
So I rarely saw those people.
Yeah.
And then when I was 14, I met my father. That was when I started meeting, like, my other siblings.
Yeah.
And cousins and whatever.
I feel very similar in a sense, but I feel like I grew up with, I say grandma's side, but it's like your side. It's BJ's side of the family. Mostly. That's who I saw all the time. And because Becky, my bio mom, was gone for so long, I didn't really see anyone on her side of the family until she came back. And I remember seeing them when I was very, very little, but then I remember seeing them as like a teenager, right? And so I didn't know them. And so Becky's side of the family, there's like two people out of all of them. She had 3 sisters and whatever. It wasn't a huge family. But thinking about families in general, when you have a husband and a wife who have 2 obviously separate families, because that's how it should be. Because if you have the same family, something's wrong.
Something's fishy.
But people who maintain a balance when like each partner has like a healthy relationship with their families and want to do the holidays together, and like that to me feels foreign, because I don't know what that's like to see a mom and a dad and like their kids, and then they spend holidays with both families, or like, figure out a schedule or see them regularly. Like that to me, or in-laws meeting each other, like I don't even know what that is like. No. That's weird, right?
It is to me too, and I'll tell you why. So growing up, my stepfather had no family, literally none. I mean, he had an uncle somewhere who we never met, but no cousins, no nothing. Yeah. And so we didn't have to worry about spending time with his side of the family because there was no one.
Right.
And he was my stepfather until I was like 16, I think. And then they divorced. But something around, 16. So we spent, if we were going somewhere, we spent holidays with my mom's family. Yeah. Right? So there was no, how do you divide that up?
Yeah.
But then when I got married the first time, it was we have to go to my family, and we have to go to his family, and his family was all the way in Roseburg, so it was 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
So it would be like, we go to my family for Christmas morning, open some presents, and then drive 3 hours to Roseburg.
Yeah.
And I was always like, I don't want to not be there for Christmas and drive to... And his family hated me.
Yeah.
So I really didn't want to be there. But that was such a hard thing. But I was with him for 8 years. Mm-hmm. His parents never met mine.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah. No, right?
Like, yeah, because I was like, huh.
I feel like those are just like Hallmark movie things. Like, it doesn't make... I know it's real. I know people have parents and families that they love, even as they grow up and have children and families of their own. I get that. It just seems so foreign to me because in most of my life, there's like 2 relationships that I've ever seen that I considered healthy. You know what I mean? So I not only in a relationship, but seeing entire families get along and 2 distinct families. Like,
because I know that you love Astra's family.
Oh, yeah.
But none of us have met them.
Right. Exactly.
And obviously for a good reason. They live in Montana.
Yeah, for a good reason.
For a good reason. It's not like they're up the street and we never saw them.
Yeah, totally.
And with Gavin's family, because they live in L.A.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you know him, you love his family, because they're great.
Well, and
how lucky are you to have 2 families in a row that just you get along with, you think they're wonderful.
But have you met me? I am pretty... No, I'm just kidding. It is pretty great because I've had some partners whose parents didn't super like me.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that just triggers my problem with authority, and it makes me want to be like, what, bitch? Why don't you fucking like me?
Right.
You snotty hoe.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not important that you don't like me, because I don't care.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, that whole dynamic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, when families... Or... so my sister was telling me that her son-in-law was wanting to go on like a family cruise.
Sure.
I'm like, okay.
Whose family?
But, and for me, if I said, I want to go on a family cruise, it would literally be me and my husband and my children and Gavin.
Yeah.
So, my 3 children, Gavin, that's it. That's,
like our family vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was like Linda and Shauna, and their...
Which is your sister and her wife.
My sister and her wife, and their 2 children... No, excuse me. What? Drunk. There are 4 children, and the 2 that are married...
brought their families.
Their spouses, and only one of them has children at this point. And the 2 children.
Sure.
But then the father, who's the ex-husband from many years ago.
Oh, God.
And and then all these people on the kind of that, it's like that side, like the ex-husband's wife, and I'm like, this to me feels like too much.
Feels like a nightmare.
I mean, and if you can work that, awesome for you.
Yeah.
I would be so stressed out of like, do I need to figure out how to spend time with everybody?
But I guess
that it doesn't feel like I'm avoiding people. I don't know.
Well, I also feel like, again, if it was something where I liked them, so like, here's a hypothetical. Let's say that I'm your sister and my ex, and the ex is Astra, and we all ended up on the same cruise, and Astra brought her family.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. Do you know what I mean? That would be super great. But with situations where there's bad blood and situations where it's like not a good relationship, or you don't necessarily like each other, but you co-parent well, I don't think it's like a good idea to go on vacation together. That's
and it's
weird.
funny because it to me feels like a setup for some kind of comedy movie.
Die.
We're on the
open ocean, bitch.
People start disappearing.
Oh my God,
I heard a splash.
Talking about the open ocean, I put on my Brave Girl panties the other night, and I watched a horror movie. I want you to know this because I watch a lot of horror. But
I know.
I watched a horror movie that was gonna actually fuck me up, and it did a lot. So good news. It's called Underwater. And if just the title doesn't tell you that it's going to make you shit your pants, it made me shit my pants. Kristen Stewart, she's just so great in it. But think of, it just reminded me of the movie Aliens, right? But underwater. Essentially. But they have to, one underwater base is breaking down because of an earthquake, so they basically have to put on like their underwater space suits and walk across the bottom of the ocean floor to like this other base.
Sure, like one does.
Whatever. But of course, they're at like the deepest anyone's ever gone or whatever, and so they've been digging too far and they woke up Cthulhu or something, some monster. Girl, there's no way. Like, even watching it, and it's all fantasy, I'm, like, watching it, leaning as far away from the TV as possible.
Right. You're over at my house watching it with binoculars.
Yeah, girl, covering my eyes and just peering through a little crack in my fingers because it was too much. I'm sweating. Like, Gavin's like, I'm really proud of you. And I'm like, are you? Like, crying. I'm proud of me, too. Like, aversion therapy. Like, it was super hard. But I faced my little fear, bitch. That's the first step in recovery.
Sure, now we gotta get you into the real ocean.
Absolutely not. Like, we're gonna take a boat and go scuba diving.
So I had one of mine the other day.
Oh my god.
I wasn't thinking that...
Oh, you weren't ready for it.
I was not. Because we were watching Doctor Who.
Okay, yeah.
And it was the second episode or whatever. I mean, it's in the season where it's the next Doctor Who
Matt
after...
Smith.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was the Weeping Angels.
Oh.
They fucked me up. But usually, you don't see them move.
Yeah.
Because they move in the dark.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not looking at them, you turn back around, they've moved, and suddenly they've developed fangs and whatever. In what is virtually the final scene with them, they're moving, and they're, like, turning their heads to you. I was like, I should twice and die.
Girl, because statues moving.
Yeah,
nightmare.
I want to die.
A nightmare, right? That shit fucks me up.
And yes, I know that is a completely irrational fear. Maybe. I've had it my entire life.
Listen, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, listen, I've never seen a statue move, but that's because they only move when I'm not looking at them. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And, like, you can't...
Because if they move when I'm looking at them, dead.
Girl. and you know what? There are things that I'm like... Statues, you know that David statue, the one that's in wherever? The Louvre, probably? You know, he's really tall.
I don't believe so. I believe he's in the one that's attached to the Vatican.
You know, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But looking at pictures, I'm like, oh my god, so beautiful. Look at that. Artisanship, blah, blah, blah. And then I realize he's like 14 feet tall or something. Huge. And I'm all, nope, hate it. Hated it. Because that is disgusting.
So the first time I went to Las Vegas.
Yeah, tell me.
I was walking through, I want to say it was Caesars.
Okay.
And was walking through kind of this area, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, walking through, and there's a full-size statue of the David.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, dear God, I could have had some warning.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I don't like it. And I know I know I've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure that it's from watching, like, Jason and the Argonauts. When I was a kid, and the statues came, and the masthead on the boat came to life. And,
yeah.
You know, that was like...
What is it? The Colossus of Rhodes or whatever it is? Yeah. That giant motherfucker who's standing... And then he comes to life, and he goes to fight them and shit? No. It makes me panicky.
And they have to unscrew the thing on his ankle and make his
oil
drain out or whatever.
Yeah. But you know, I do like statues, but they can't be too big, or it starts to ruin my life. Like, I start to have existential crisis, being like, how is this so big? It just fucks with my brain, you know? There was a TikTok filter, right? Where you could point it at the sky, with your phone to the sky, and look at your phone, and you could see all these planets and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And there'd be like a planet coming towards you. I would have to look at it, literally, my phone outstretched. Like, I could not look at it closely. It freaked me out too much, like this giant... It's like megalophobia, which is like... Scary big things. Big things are scary. But I do feel that way. Other than, like, buildings, but giant ships freak me out. You know what I mean? There are things that are so big that make
The Tacoma Dome kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, girl. It's
I don't know
unsettling.
Why it just does. I know, because we're weirdos.
Well, yeah, I just... Stop. I don't like it.
All right.
The world is scary enough.
The world is scary enough.
So, listen. Oh, God. I need to go... Listen, I've been watching a lot of crime in general. Just
let's go
outside.
Do crime.
Let's go do crime. First, I was watching, obviously, All the Law and Order, which I took a little beat from that because Gavin and I watched Claws together.
Yes.
Which is a fantastic show if anyone has ever watched it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It has...
Because... Niecy Nash,
Carrie Preston, is that who that is?
Yeah, Carrie Preston.
Yeah, her. And lots of people, and it's
but really, Niecy
Nash. She gets really obnoxious at some point, but I love her so much. But it's, you know, white trash, hood rat, gang shit in Florida. So they're called the Dixie Mafia. So, but it's really good. But, you know, I need to watch shit like that. It takes anxiety off of me, and I'm like, ooh, that bitch is like gonna get her head blown off by a drug dealer. I'm feeling fine. You know what I mean?
My life's good.
Yeah, they're
no
going
one's
down.
coming after me with a gun.
DEA feds are on these bitches. Like, my life is pretty. It's okay, Annika.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
fine.
I think you're all right.
Yeah, nothing bad's gonna happen.
No,
honey.
All right. Well, as mentioned last week.
Oh my god, what?
This month is Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah.
It's the month.
Yeah.
Because words are hard.
Words are hard.
And as I mentioned, I'm very tired.
Yeah.
I want to talk specifically about this one person.
Oh, who's the person?
The person, their name is X, first name X, last name Gonzalez, is an American activist and advocate for gun control. Okay. And their advocacy started when they were in the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. It's the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history.
Yeah.
And
2018.
Yeah, and
I remember this.
After this, they co-founded the gun control advocacy group Never Again.
So this person, if any of you remember, was in high school when this happened. They are the pretty little shaved head thing, you know? It still has they still have a shaved head, and they were very passionate, very alternative. I love that. Let's talk about them.
Well, and they called out politicians, and I'm saying they because they are non-binary.
Yeah. They are non-gender.
Just so you know, I'm not talking about a group of people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just X. One of the things that they were really mad about was the fucking thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the politicians will do absolutely nothing about gun control.
Yeah.
And they called it out as being BS.
Yeah.
And it said that all of the politicians who want to do nothing is because they're funded by the NRA.
Yes.
And they went on to become an outspoken activist on gun control, making high-profile media appearances. So I've actually seen them on many themes talking about how this happened in their school. It can happen anywhere. That young people shouldn't have to deal with this.
No.
You know, and what pisses me off, I mean, this happening pisses me off and terrifies me all at the same time. But what pisses me off is when people like this step up and say, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
This happened in my school. This happened to my friends. The politicians are like, oh, well, they're just hysterical. Or then there's those idiots who are like, well, they're just, what do they call them? Conspiracy actors or something, where it's like, this never happened. That's not the right word. They call them something else. But they're actors that are hired to, you know, play out this part so that people will get all riled up and want to do something about guns.
Copy.
You know, it's like the same asshat who said Sandy Hook wasn't real. Oof. And then got sued and now owes people millions of dollars.
Alex, what's his name?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know because he wasn't who I was going to talk about today. So, but Gonzalez was the target of a number of far-right conspiracy theories and hoaxes since the shooting. Conspiracy theorists have falsely accused the students, including Gonzalez, of being crisis actors. That's what it is. Crisis actors. Yeah. It's like Florida State Representative Sean Harrison, Republican, of course, was fired after making those accusations. Donald Trump Jr. faced criticism for appearing to support the crisis actor accusations. And then it said the conspiracy theory spread after Gonzalez and the other Parkland survivors were named Politic Facts 2018 Lie of the Year. It's like, why on earth would somebody come forward and go, you know, this happened to my school, blah, blah, blah. And what about the families of these people?
I know.
You know, how disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's like, these families lost their children.
Yes.
When you send your children to school, you do not expect that they're not going to come home.
Do you know what? I feel like that culture has changed. I feel like at this point, not you, but general you, send your children to school hoping that they'll come home, but with this feeling that they may not because of how the American system has... It's failing. It's failing everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's failing families. It's failing students. Like, we can't even teach kids enough. Now they go to school to be targeted with weapons. Like, I don't know. It just feels so bananas to me. But also, this ex Gonzalez, there was a debate in 2018, 2019 after the shooting it was the students of Marjorie Stoneman, whatever high school, and it was a representative from the NRA, and there was a debate, and all these students basically just owned this woman, basically told her, but gave her facts and made her look fucking stupid on national television. It was aired by CNN, and ex Gonzalez was one of the people who was on the debate,
right?
And tore Dana something. I don't know what the woman's name was, but it was. I watched it several times because I thought it was so powerful. But one of the things I love is watching smart, young groups of people take down established, oppressive regimes or systems. That's why I love, Harry Potter. I always love it when kids fight back. That is one of my favorite fucking things.
So, one of the things that I find most disturbing is that one of the reasons that they were attacked by these politicians is also because of their heritage, because they're Cuban. During one of the speeches, X was wearing a Cuban patch on their sleeve, and this Republican congressman, Steve King, attacked them for wearing the Cuban flag on their jacket. And their speech saying in a post on Facebook, "This is how you look when you claim Cuban heritage yet don't speak Spanish, and ignore the fact that your ancestors fled the island when the dictatorship turned Cuba into a prison camp."
Okay.
So everyone who is of any kind of Hispanic heritage has to speak Spanish?
Oh, girl, that's a whole other debate. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you didn't grow up in a family where they spoke Spanish at home, you probably aren't going to speak Spanish.
I mean, it's the whole societal pressure of being mixed or being too Americanized. But yes, there's a lot of stigma to being Hispanic or Latinx or whatever and not speaking Spanish. It's your fault necessarily. It's a stupid thing, but it's also when you're mixed race and you're not white enough or black enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't really fit.
Right. Well, and one of the reasons that he came for them was saying that the whole reason the Castro took over Cuba and it turned into a prison camp was because they had taken away their guns and they couldn't protect themselves, and so that's why guns are so important. It's yeah, but none of them had semi-automatic weapons.
Also, just shut the fuck up.
And shut the fuck up. Because what do you know, old white man?
Well, I also want to say there's a difference between, this is the stance we're going to take, liking Cuba as a political government and a political entity, and liking Cuba for the culture that they offer because you're a part of that culture. You know what we could use? We could use the same argument with Israel. You know what I mean? People can be proud to, come from a place that's been appropriated. But Israel and, whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to agree with their politics. That was really not a great example, but you understand. It is, people think of shit in too black and white, or it's all or nothing. But, somebody with Cuban ancestry can enjoy Cuba and what the culture of Cuba is because it's in their blood,
right.
But they also can be hypercritical and not enjoy the government. I don't know why people can't see things as multidimensional, as there's facets to
shit. That is one of the things that's very confusing to me, why it's all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's well, I liked Annika, and then she said this one thing that pissed me off, and now I have to hate her. It's if the thing she said was ignorant and hateful, sure.
Yeah.
But everything isn't all or nothing, and that is problematic.
You're with us or against us, and that whole bullshit is problematic to a functioning fucking society,
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway,
yeah.
that's I just wanted to feature that one specific person, and while it's Hispanic Heritage Month, we will try and do at least feature one person on each episode. I know we didn't last week. We were gonna, and then we started talking about other things. But the other thing we were going to talk about this week was somebody very problematic, which is Diddy.
Oh, P Didster.
I've been hearing for some time just rumors that he was problematic, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't know kind of anything until you told me one day that he had fled the country.
Yeah.
And that there were warrants out for his arrest. And
his houses were being searched. Yeah. Well, Diddy... So, here's the thing. let's think about 90s R&B, rap, and hip-hop for a second. There was real beef between coast to coast, east and west, right? Yeah. And some of that shit, the beef turned violent. People died. Tupac and Biggie both are dead because of this, right? Mind you, that was the 90s. But a lot of the people, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Ice-T, whoever, who are all a part of the same crew, are still friends. You know what I mean? It's not like everyone forgot this happened. So, Diddy was friends with Biggie. And Diddy has always been shady. Always. There's always been controversy about him being abusive to women he's with, about him being sexually inappropriate. And if you go back and just listen to interviews of him, it's like he lets on that he's doing shady shit, but it's funny, right? Like, he does it in, like, it's a joke. I'm on the late show or whatever. But Diddy has been a problem. In short, there's lots of drugs, there's lots of violent sexual abuse. He throws his Diddy's white parties, which are very well known, where celebrities and people in the industry and influencers go. But it's not just like, oh, we all went to a party wearing white and got drunk and did blow or whatever. He has what they call freak-offs, where it's like days long sexual orgies, sexual abuses,
right,
where he gives bitches like benzos and GHB to keep them like drugged and compliant. Men, women, there's a lot of alleged instances. So like Usher, Justin Bieber, Meek Mills, a bunch of rappers who Diddy has drugged, either watched have sex with people, had sex with them, something, but records all of it. So his houses have been seized. He is in lockup currently. He's been arrested.
Right, and they refused bail. Because they said he was a flight risk, and he was just dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous. And he is on, like, suicide watch. And I think it's more so if someone else doesn't kill him, because P Diddy is also discussing... He's openly talked about, if I'm going down, I'm taking everyone with me. I'm not going alone. And he's already named people. Big fucking people. He's named people like Oprah Winfrey. Girl. He's named people like Mary J. Blige. He's named mostly
Usher.
Mostly predominantly black men. But, there's still lots of celebrities, lots of famous people. But he, like... So the point is, he is going down for, like, drugs, sex trafficking. The biggest thing is racketeering, which we talked about. Racketeering, there are 35 separate crimes you can do to be considered racketeering. And you have to do at least 3 of them. And it's like prostitution, homicide, extortion, X, Y, and Z. So he has done, and they're considered RICO charges. And racketeering something. I don't know what RICO stands for. But when you hear that on cop shows, that's what it means. So
it says he's been accused of creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice.
Yeah, so that could all be considered racketeering. They do split it into different things. He's being tried or charged with 3 separate things. One of them is just racketeering. Anyway, but it was just like forced prostitution. And several years ago, he dated a singer named Cassie. Cassie is a beautiful young black woman who I don't know all the drama that happened, but he was not good to her. And there is footage of her escaping Diddy's house, or like the hotel they were in.
Okay.
He basically would never let her be by herself. She had to follow all these rules. And so there's video camera of her barefoot in like little shorts and a tank top and like a hoodie and a hat, have like 2 bags that she's put as much as she can carry, and she's like running out of the house. And then you see Diddy run after her wearing nothing but a towel, and it was alleged that he was sleeping, and she found this chance to get out, but he didn't catch up with her. She got out, she sued him, and she won. And a lot of things people are saying about Diddy is he doesn't sue any of them for defamation because he can't. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, so Cassie sued him, and there's just a lot of shady things that have gone down about people dying. Like, it is alleged that he paid this man who's currently in prison $1 million to kill Tupac. He's the one who killed Tupac. He killed Kim Porter, who is, okay, Kim Porter was his girlfriend. But it's all, I don't know, it's all tied into, like, Jay-Z, Beyonce's husband, was his best friend, and allegedly they had Jay-Z's mistress killed because Beyonce wanted it done. Like, it's all so convoluted, and everybody has their little hands in the pot. That is dirty, but people are calling out major celebrities, and Jay-Z and Beyonce are two of them, and that has lots of people shook because
of course,
Beyonce's Queen Bee, you know. So if she had her hand, if she was even aware that this shit was going down at a Diddy party, bitch, you're complicit. And
and that's kind of the thing, right? Is you don't have to have been one of the people who took part of it. If you were aware, which apparently turns out many people were. Then you're also, you're complicit in this whole thing because you didn't do anything. You didn't tell anyone. You didn't try and stop it.
Well,
you didn't try and help the people that were involved in it.
No.
You know, and the video I saw that I told you about was at one of these freak-offs.
Yeah.
And it was Kevin Hart in the bathroom with, I think, 3 bikini-clad girls and one girl naked in a bathtub. And there's candles all around. Well, at one point, and he's talking about whatever he's talking about. But at one point, the girl in the bathtub, her hair catches on fire from and he's just sitting there laughing about it, whatever. And she had to, like, fully submerge herself in the tub to get the fire out of her because I'm sure it was extensions and stuff. Yeah. And it was like, how is that okay?
Yeah, girl.
You know,
fucked up.
Did nothing to help her. You just didn't laugh at her.
No, and
because fire on your head's funny.
Well, and it makes you think. If this is the shit we're finding out about, what is the shit we're not finding out about? And
and the firearms they found in his house allegedly had all the serial numbers filed off.
Wow.
That's not shady.
No.
Because, you absolutely don't want people knowing the serial numbers of your guns for no reason if you just keep them at your house.
Yeah. See, girl, that's what I'm saying. So, one thing I want you all to know is celebrity culture is disgusting. And this is a really, really prime example of why over the last few years I've really distanced myself from any of it because I can't care. It's all shit that these people who did not deserve to have platforms, deserve to have any sort of leverage with a community, and they do. And who else knows? What else has been happening? I mean, it's gross. Like, give people platforms who deserve it. Give people platforms who do something, who matter, who have a moral compass, who believe in something. Because, I don't know, the fact that there is this man who could abuse his power to such an extreme for decades.
And had gone unchecked.
Yeah, and dated some of the most famous people, had his own shows, has his own clothing line, owns multiple houses. You know, like, how? And it doesn't say he's rich. So he's a white man. You know what I mean? Rich is above all class. Rich is being rich is above all race.
Absolutely.
You know?
But what I worry will happen is that it'll be like Jeffrey Epstein. Before he can name too many names, they're going to take him out.
I know. I really hope this doesn't happen.
And I don't care if something bad happens to him. I absolutely don't care because he's a horrible human being. What I want, though, is for other people who were involved to also go down.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be that all these other people get away with their nonsense because he didn't get a chance to name them or whatever, he was silenced.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, I don't think all these people who are now saying like, ooh, I always knew, ooh, something was up, I figured, I saw, I was there. If you're just now coming out, you're a shitty human being. Yeah. You're a shitty human being. So now it makes you rethink all those people who've been like, oh, P Diddy's a bad person. Because I told you, there's an example of, the fuck is her name? Audrey O'Day, something like that. Oh, yeah. From Danity Kane. Girl group.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Puff Daddy's girl group. One of them. Well, she left. She got fired. She was on The Apprentice, right? With Donald Trump. And it's all these people sitting around the table, the board table, and Trump is like, "Oh, you were in whatever band, and is he a good guy? I love him. He's a good guy. You think you like him? Tell me he's a good guy." And she was all, "I don't want to answer that question." He was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I think he's a good guy." So clearly, like, she was all, "Oh no."
Yeah, I just watched an interview the other day where Trump was interviewing Diddy, and was literally just singing his praises as to what a great guy he was.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't, it's like just the fact that he, of all people, would be the one saying you're a great guy is like, well, that's fishy enough for me.
Yeah, all done. Yeah, that's all I need to know.
On a kind of lighter note of the P Diddy thing.
Okay.
Have you heard about the people who believe that he's cursed because of his back tattoo?
No.
So his back tattoo
is beautiful.
It is beautiful. But it's a Haitian spirit called Izili Dantor.
Okay.
And she is a key figure in Haitian voodoo and associated with motherhood, protection, and womanhood. She is described as a fierce protector of marginalized communities, particularly women and LGBTQ plus individuals in the Haitian culture. So the people that he was basically fucking over and destroying...
Well, what if he's gay?
Well, still.
What if he's gay? Yeah.
But I've heard several women come out and say, that motherfucker's already cursed.
Yeah.
Because he did something stupid.
Yeah.
And he put this symbol of Haitian culture, and he's not Haitian, on his back. He is not part of the, any of those, like the voodoo cultures. And I don't care if you believe in it. I don't care what it, it's like, you can go, well, that's all just nonsense. Okay, cool.
Cute girl.
But there's a line that I draw where it's like, if I don't understand or don't believe in your culture, that's all fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to fuck with it. I'm not going to, if your thing is like, I'm trying to remember who it is. It's something from Hoodoo, like Santorini.
Santorina.
Yeah, where it's like, if you say I can't remember who it is now, you say their name like so many times, it's like, this spirit will come and visit you and whatever. And I doubt that that's real.
Yeah.
I'm not going to test it.
No.
Because I have enough, I think, respect for other people's culture, but just enough where I believe woo-woo stuff. Where I think, why would I test that?
Yeah, no. And I will say something because, I'm a bitch who's all about the witchy. I'm all about the metaphysical. I'm all about the spiritual of every culture I want to know. And here's the thing is I just want to know information. I have a huge issue with any white person who's like, oh, I practice voodoo. Believe in all you want, baby. But when you tell me you're praying to the deities that are Haitian or voodoo deities, let me tell you something, white boy, white girl. You think that if you're going to summon some sort of deity that's going to show up and see your white ass, they're going to think of that favorably? Probably not. I think, because I have books on voodoo, but I have it for informational purposes. I'm not out here trying to call on fucking Papa Legba to come grant me wishes, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking with your culture either, but it's important for us to know about it. You know what I mean? I have stuff about like Indian culture, not Native American. I have lots of that, but that's not what I meant. Ancient China. I have lots of it because I think it's important, again, to learn. And I want to learn about all the religious and spiritual practices. Yeah. But I'm not going to go and be like, I'm not going to be also be one of those white people who shows up in, like, Tibet and I'm like, teach me. You know what I mean? Right. I don't... Yes, do I think that's the most authentic way? 100%. Do I think a lot of it is trifling as fuck? 100%.
Well, I think... in my opinion, because most white people have zero culture, that they're always trying to steal from someone else's culture, which is a very white people thing to do.
It's very Western white people.
Absolutely.
For sure, yeah.
Absolutely. Because, people who want to wear somebody else's culture as a costume. Somebody else who's like, I'm going to do my house in, Mexican whatever. I'm going to do... It's a thing to you that you put on. It's not real to you. So it's not part of your culture, so leave it alone.
Yep.
The other thing I just wanted to read, because I love this, Izili Dantor, the deity from the Haitian, who's on his back, rages and destroys anyone who harms women, as her main attribute is being a devoted and selfless mother who will turn the world upside down for those she loves. It is said that if you anger her, then an awful natural disaster will fall on you, with some who worship her even claiming that those who have wronged her have inexplicably started vomiting blood. I was like, wow.
Well, bring it on, girlfriend.
I say, if this tattoo is any, it's like, if there's any truth to this stuff, bring it on.
Girl,
because if anybody deserves to have their world fucked up and turned upside down. It's somebody who did that exact thing to so many other people. Somebody who has, honestly, if you have drugged, raped,
beat,
held hostage people,
they
are traumatized for life.
For life. And you should pay them restitution, motherfucker.
Right. You know, so I've been kind of watching. I can't watch all of it because he makes me sick.
Same.
The whole thing is like, I just hope you get your comeuppance.
Yeah, girl.
Because you know how I am. I'm a big comeuppance kind of fan.
Same, bitch.
But when you have fucked over this many people and stayed above it,
you got it coming.
You know, you've got your millions pouring in. You're
on borrowed time, motherfucker.
Yeah. Then it's like you need a healthy dose. Comeuppance.
You needed to cash out and walk away from that table a lot earlier, you know?
Yeah.
But now you're here. About ready to die.
Well, and it's like you've said many, many, many times, it's like when you get that rich, you're so afraid of not being rich that you just have to keep getting richer.
Yeah.
And you become greedy and stupid.
And nothing is enough.
Nothing is enough. Well, I also think that when you're that rich and you have that much money, that you need bigger and bigger things for thrills, for entertainment. Because like, well, I've done all that. Mm-hmm. You know, what's next?
Well, I think of that as kind of not immortal in the sense of like they're a god, but you know, gods get bored with being gods at some point and they kind of wish they were, you know, mortal again so they could experience death, so they could experience that kind of rush, right? That's the whole ideology of gods and why they kept mortals around. I feel like it's that same way when you're rich, right? Like nothing you've done everything, you've bought everything, you've seen everything, you've gone everywhere. So like now you need to take a life. Now you need to like hold someone hostage.
Now it's like you're living
more and more extreme.
Right, you're living in a way that is absolutely beyond the edges of society, that is acceptable, polite society, whatever you want to call it, where you're actually committing crimes and getting away with it.
Yeah,
and I imagine if you are that person, that's got to be a pretty big thrill, getting away with all these horrific things.
If you're committing a crime because you need to feed your baby, if you're stealing money or formula or clothes or whatever, I see no problem. If you're... Because you have a reason to be committing crime. You have reason to be doing the thing you're doing, right? P. Diddy, there's no absolute reason for you to be doing this. As if you couldn't find women that wanted to sleep with you, men that wanted to sleep with you. You know what I mean? Like, as if you couldn't just invite all these people to come stay at your house.
Have a big sex party.
Right.
That everybody's a willing participant.
Right, but the fact that you needed to drug and kidnap and force people and like it's too much, man. Like, you've pushed it so far. Like, why do you need to exert your power in a way that forces people to submit to your will when with that much power...
But there is that.
That's it.
There is that power, because it's not enough to just say, hey, I'm having a big sex party, everybody's welcome.
Yeah, look how hot and rich I am.
Fuck your brains out, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. We're going to invite hot men, hot women, whoever, all adults, of course, and consenting. Well, that's boring.
Boring.
So, where's my power? Enough. How am I, exuding my power over other people?
Yeah.
If it's all consensual.
Girl.
So, you've heard of key parties, yes?
Key parties, yeah.
Yeah. So back in the 70s, this kind of started this thing called a key party, for those of you who don't know. And it's just this thing where lots of people went to this party, threw their keys in a bowl, and then at some point in the party, people would start taking keys out of the bowl, and whose ever keys you got is who you end up having a thing with.
Oh.
Whatever, going home with,
naughty.
Fucking there, whatever. Because it became like this kind of free love 70s, whatever. But it was consensual.
Yeah,
everybody who went to this party knew exactly what they were getting into. People who go to swinger bars know exactly what they're getting into. People who go to a party that they're like, well, it's going to be a big sex party, and they willingly go because they know what it is. I'm fine with all that. It's not my cup of tea.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But don't force people.
But when it comes to the point of where you are getting like this and kidnapping,
enforcing,
drugging, raping,
ugh,
whatever,
girl,
there is not a hole deep enough to throw you into.
You should just die. Like, if you're so bored, like if the only thing that gets your goat is to cause pain and exert your power, you should probably just lay down and die. Because then what? You're just going to keep abusing people?
Yeah.
You have to keep amassing wealth and power. To what end and why?
Right. And so one of the things that I found kind of ironic is he is worried about his 7 children.
Oh.
Because, with him being gone and in jail, what are they going to do? And it's like, are we to believe that this man actually was raising his 7 children? And I can only imagine if that is your moral compass, how the fuck are you raising these children?
I do wonder, though, because there's some people who do horrible things, but then are, like, good parents. Or, like, a minister who goes out and, like, kills women and then goes and preaches. You know what I mean? Like, somebody who, like, performs really good acts, but then does, like, heinous shit.
Right. Their life is a total duality.
So watch him be, like, a great dad. I doubt it. And also, your kids, you have enough money, baby, that your kids will be fine.
Well, and some of his kids are grown.
Yeah. Again,
but it's like, I just am sure. I don't know. I don't care. I'm sure that, like most other filthy rich people, his children are being raised by nannies.
Yeah, they should take your money, and then they should write a tell-all book about how you're a pig-ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then sell the rights to a movie.
There you go.
They rich. Like Look at that. They rich. I'll be their manager now.
I was talking to my 13-year-old son about sex crimes and stuff and whatever, and he said, so matter-of-factly, well, they just need to be killed.
Well.
And absolutely. Especially because we were talking about pedophiles. And, because sometimes you need to talk to your children about really awful things. And he was like, they all need to go to jail. And then he said, no, they just need to be killed. And I was like, absolutely. Because there is no cure for that one. You cannot reform a pedophile. So, ugh.
I know. Yeah. But that's a subject for another day.
But we're going to wrap up that subject.
Thank God. On a happy note.
Do we have a happy note?
It's Happy Halloween. It's October 1st, motherfuckers.
It is October. It is Halloween season. It's the season of the witch.
It is officially one of my high holy months.
Yeah.
Welcome.
It's time to go get your pumpkin, whatever you drink.
I already had that today. But
I know you have.
I have also already been Halloween shopping for Halloween decor. I've already bought my smell good candles. I bought a Halloween jacket,
Yeah, me
But I started
too,
all that in September.
because I totally copied you.
I know. Okay, so before we leave, I bought this really cute jacket, and it's a Letterman's jacket, and it's Disney, and it's Halloween themed, and it's white and black and green. What color? Orange. And like it's just so cute. And I went and bragged next door and showed the family. Oh, and guess who's getting it? My parents, both of them.
So now you're going to match your old-ass parents.
And
how humiliating is that?
I'm just going to go be like all those people who burned their jerseys after Colin Kaepernick and be all, this is my America! And burn
You ruined everything.
You did, you ruined it. But it's cute. I wore it the other day.
Cute. It's very, very cute.
That's all, though. That's my only news.
All right. Well, happy Halloween season.
Thanks, girl.
And we'll be back next week. We'll be back every week until we are tired of this and go, you know what, we're done.
Well, I'm tired, so it has to be specifically tired
of this.
Yeah.
I know, because we're always tired.
Girl.
But tired of this.
Yes, ma'am.
So we come out every Wednesday, 1 o'clock. And we do. And hopefully talk about things you find interesting, and if not, well, sorry about it.
Be more interesting then.
Yes. Well, or, if it's that big of a deal, send us your ideas of things you'd like us to talk about.
Fight me, you bitch.
Because we will talk about anything.
Literally.
Literally anything.
Yep.
But send us a little message at itwouldseemasthough@gmail.com. And then like, share, subscribe, and download your favorite podcasting app. And you can find us on most podcasting apps.
And set notifications, because then when it comes out, it goes, ding, ding, bitch, come listen to these heifers.
Oh my God, I would die if there was a little notification that said, ding, ding, bitch.
I know.
Come listen to these heifers.
I'm just going to record it in my voice and be all, ding, ding, bitch.
Come listen to these heifers.
Yeah, come listen to these heifers.
I like it. That should be the new tagline for our show. Ding, ding, bitch.
Ding, ding, bitch.
I now want to set Alexa so every week it goes, ding, ding, bitch. I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, gotta go.
I need to buy a new one anyway, so we'll program her to say that.
Ding, ding, bitch.
Perfect.
Love it.
Perfect. And if you have an Alexa, if you just say, Alexa, play It Would Seem As Though, we will start talking at you.
Oh my God. And then what?
And then
ding,
what?
Ding, bitch.
Right. All right.
All right.
You know what? That was cute and all, but I gotta go.
I gotta go too. Bye.
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 It would seem as though.